Okay, I got it. What's up, family? This is Dr. Baruch, and I know, as a naturopath in the space of health and wellness, having done the restaurant thing, healthy restaurant thing for the last 30 years, I know what some of the barriers and challenges are. And we got a brother on today who's going to talk to us about one of the most significant barriers to eating healthy and making better choices on behalf of ourselves. Again, it's exciting to have somebody who's had success in the space of investing and who has left some crumbs behind him so that we can all learn from him. A brother who I've just been introduced to over the course of the last month, and a blessing to know that a brother's in a position to not only be successful himself, but also to give us the clues as to what it is we need to do in order to be successful. We have Brother Clifton on board, CryptoCliff. Brother CryptoCliff on board with us today. And I just wanted to give him that opportunity to introduce himself, tell us a little bit about, who he is, where he's from, and how you got into this space. Come on, brother. Talk to me.
I definitely appreciate that intro, man. Yeah, I am CryptoCliff. I've been in the crypto space since 2011. To give you a little bit of context of how long that's been, when I got into the crypto space, when I first heard about cryptocurrency in general, Bitcoin was literally less than $1 when I first heard. When I got into the space, and I finally dove into the space, and I took away the pride and dove into the space. I bought Bitcoin for the first time for around $120 per Bitcoin. All right. Today, Bitcoin is over $110,000. So I've been a full-time investor even before then. I started investing, started day trading. I started day trading in 2010. So I started out in the Forex market, got my butt kicked in the Forex market, moved over to options trading, got my butt kicked in the options trading market. And from that point, I actually went over to just day trading penny stocks, and I actually found my footing. I found some success in penny stock trading. So I'm from Pensacola, Florida, born and raised by way of Atlanta, Georgia. But like I said, I've been in this space for a very, very long time. I helped create over 150, at this point, almost 100 millionaires, 93 millionaires, over 150 people have actually retired themselves from taking my courses. And I took over 300 plus people from living paycheck to paycheck to having at least 10K in their portfolios.
Wow, brother, that's a strong statement. And again, I see it. I see the challenges on my end because I get a chance to hear the barriers to people making choices, about the food that they consume. And, eating healthier food has a financial barrier. And so finding somebody who can help them not only make better choices with regard to their food, but other realities that they're having to deal with so that they can make the better choice. Don't let money be the reason why you make a bad choice for yourself. But you've got a program that's working. Like you say, you've got 100 people that you pushed into the millionaire status category, and 300 that are not living paycheck to paycheck. Tell us a little bit about that program, and you're going to be coming here to DC to talk to us, and what we can expect to get when you come in.
Well, I have multiple different courses. I've taught thousands of people at this point. The most effective market outside of just cryptocurrency investing in general has been crypto futures by far. Now, crypto futures is a new market that most people don't even know exists yet because it's not on the mainstream, and it's allowing us to make those huge profitable gains. Case in point, Bitcoin rallied up today from 106 to 111, right? Kind of stabilized out around that 109, 110 mark. That position, just by trading crypto, trading the Bitcoin, that Bitcoin trade, actually helped me get over 300+% gains with the right leverage point, right? Yeah. So we are revolutionizing the way people get into the markets, the way people trade the markets, because we're trading an evolutionary market that allows people to make huge profits. Think about it. The average stock trader, if they have a 55 to 45% win to loss ratio, they're deemed proficient or a pretty much successful investor. Whereas my students have anywhere between a 65 to 85% win to loss ratio in the markets. And it's because of the way we're teaching them. New problems come from new solutions. And that new solution is crypto futures.
Great. Now, I know about health and wellness, and I know what people say about eating healthy. What do people say? Because I know we got something to say. Because there's a reason why you've only brought 100 people across the desert. Why is it that more people aren't saying yes to this, doing this, and getting the kind of success that I hear you speaking about today?
You want the honest answer?
Please give it to me. I know it's gonna hurt. I know.
Oh yeah, it's multiple answers to that question. The first
Yeah.
answer that I have to give you is most people have a popularity complex when it comes down to jumping on the bandwagon with something. They don't want to jump on the bandwagon until the mark has already took off, until the ship has already sold. That's when most people want to jump into the markets. That's when most people want to invest. I give you a prime example of that. I'm pretty sure you remember that GameStop play. They
Yep.
made a whole movie about it. Think about it. So I was in the Wall Street Bets group back when this was pre-pandemic, right before the pandemic actually really hit. And I was in that group. So I was in that group when it was literally only 25 people in that group. When GameStop was still less than $7. And we got in, me and a bunch of brothers got in when GameStop was less than $7. And we rode that wave all the way up to that $200+ mark. Guess when most people got into that play? Yes, take a wild guess when the average person dove into that play.
About $185.
You hit it right on the head. It's between $170 to $180. And
Yep.
guess what? They held it, but they held on because they didn't have the knowledge.
Yep.
They didn't have the knowledge to win to pull out of that market. And they actually held on because they thought that play was going to go to at least $1,000, not knowing that the elites swept the rug right up under them.
Yep.
Right. So I told my entire network, we are pulling out of this play when that play hit $190. And we pulled out. And I mean, we made a killing in that play because we got in so early. So yeah, the first answer is most people have a popularity complex. They have to get onto something that's popular at the moment, not knowing that the opportunity is when something is at the ground level, when nobody's talking about it. Yeah. Right. The second reason is, honestly, it's because I'm a young black brother.
Yeah.
If I was any other complexion, they would be jumping on the bandwagon.
Yep.
And that's just the God honest truth. When I talk, and especially when I talk to older people of our race, they don't really grasp the concept of somebody my age diving into.
Yeah.
How I had an older gentleman tell me, "You too young to know about money.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know about money. You can't know about money." And after me and him got into a debate, and I actually, gave him a verbal butt whooping in that debate. You know what I mean? Then he kind of understood, but I did it very, very respectfully as well too. But most of our people don't want to take information from someone who looks just like them.
Right.
And that's another issue. That's another issue. But it's all about being able to dive on opportunities, which is the third answer. Most people don't recognize opportunities. One of the biggest components of becoming successful and wealthy in life is you have to be able to recognize opportunities. Yeah. If you can't recognize an opportunity, you will never go for the opportunity. Most of us have an application mindset, meaning we got to put in an application for a job versus somebody saying, listen, why would you go over here and work for $12.99 an hour? Or why would you work for $25 an hour or $40 an hour when you can make $400 in a day?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah, brother. Yeah, that's wisdom. Now, where did you didn't come out the womb like this. So at what point in your life did you encounter the situation or the education that made that make sense to you? Because like you said, most of us, that don't make sense to us.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. My first encounter with just diving into knowledge actually came from Brother Tariq Nasheed.
Yep.
Hidden Colors.
Yeah.
That Hidden Colors series opened my eyes to a whole other world that I never knew even existed. And once I started to learn about my history and I started to travel the world and see my history and see our history, it was like a very, very eye-opening experience. Case in point, I actually went to Kemet, ancient Kemet, which most people know as Egypt. And I went on an ATV excursion around the pyramids of Giza. Got all the way at the top of a sand dune, and I was looking out over the pyramids of Giza, the Sphinx, and all of Cairo, Egypt. And at that moment, I'm not an emotional person like that, but at that moment, I shedded tears. Because I was like, as a people, we lost all of this.
All of it, brother.
I was like, my duty, it's my duty, and I think it's all of our duty to try to get a piece of that back.
Yes, sir.
They're not going to give it to you. They're not going. They've already proven they're not going to give it to us.
That's right.
And even if they was to give us dollar bills, the biggest liability that you have in your pocket right now is a dollar bill.
Yep.
I want mine back in gold.
That's right.
Oil, silver, land.
Yes, sir. Crypto futures. And crypto futures.
Yeah, crypto futures, crypto. That's power. Because you think about this. Just think about this. Let's go back 10 years. Just 10 years ago. 10 years ago. Let's say you put $10,000 in the bank account 10 years ago. Not a lot of money at all. $10,000. Do you know that money has deflated or inflated to the point to where that money is worth 47% less than it was 10 years ago?
Wow.
Which means if you had that $10,000 sitting in a bank account and you didn't touch it, it's only worth around $5,300 in buying power now.
Wow.
Over the past 10 years.
Wow.
But gold 10 years ago was $870 per trace ounce. Today, gold is $3,500 an ounce. Which one is the better measure of money?
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. I was in gold and Bitcoin today, brother. I got a part of both of those rides today.
Nice,
I'm very thankful. But and you're coming to town, and so tell those potential students that are here, what they can expect to get and what they need to do, because you're not coming tomorrow. It's going to be a minute, so it's a little bit of time they got to prepare themselves. What do they need to do to prepare themselves for what it is you're going to be giving to them?
First things first, you need to prepare yourself mentally, because you can't do anything in the physical if you're not mentally there. You have to start looking at money for what it really is. It's a liability. It's a liability. It's a necessary, unnecessary, necessary need for right now. And you have to learn how to convert real world assets into dollar bills, because once you have gold, once you have crypto, once you have defensive stocks, once you have international real estate, land, that automatically converts everything over back into more cash. Right? So the first thing you can do is start to program your mind to stop praising the dollar bill, because it ain't worth a damn thing. All right. Secondly, just be involved. Start looking into certain things. Start looking into what blockchain technology is. Start analyzing the markets. Because when I come, we're going to be, me and my team are going to be talking about blockchain tech and how blockchain tech has revolutionized everything we know. We're going to be talking about how the dollar bill is the biggest liability to us right now. We're going to be explaining what cryptocurrency is and how crypto is the greatest transformation of wealth in human history. We're also going to be going into what crypto futures is, meaning bring your laptops, because we're going to be showing you how to trade the crypto futures markets.
Okay. Now, should we, is there a specific platform that we should all kind of sign up on so that we can trade, or does it require that?
Absolutely. And I'll be giving that information out directly inside of the class.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we're going to walk you through the whole entire setup. Absolutely.
Okay. Now, again, I think it's important for our customers to get an idea, or for our audience to get an idea of what we're talking about. I see you walking down the street, you probably got, $5,000 in your bank account, right? When, because I know how rich people roll. They don't roll like they rich. They roll like, nah, I ain't the one. It's the dude behind me with the Bentley, go after him. What kind of transformation has taken place in your life personally, or give me an example of somebody where you've taken them from rags to riches? What did that look like at the beginning, and how does that look today?
I'll give you a perfect example. One of my top-notch students, who's the top trader in my Blockchain Bureau Academy, She was a manager at Walmart making $56,000 a year, struggling. Mother of 3. She took my course, one-on-one lifetime mentorship course, my 12-week course. She became a proficient. When I tell you, an amazing day trader. She never day traded before in her life, never dove into stocks, never dove into cryptocurrency before she took my course. She went from making $56,000 a year at Walmart to quitting her job within 3-4 months, completely quitting her job, becoming a full-time day trader. She now makes between $2,700 to $3,400 a day trading. That's $985K annually.
Okay. Okay.
So taking that course has put over 1.7 million in her pocket. And that's just one of the many stories I have. Hell, I was walking in the mall yesterday. Went in the mall, was going to get me a pair of shoes. And one of my old barbers ran up to me and just grabbed me. You know, I didn't know who he was at first. You know, because he came up from me and kind of grabbed me from the back. He said, man, I just want to let you know I appreciate you. I said, what you mean? He said, bro, information you gave me 5 years ago, I bought in the Bitcoin, I bought in the XRP, I bought in the Cardano, and now I'm worth $500,000 plus $500,000.
Wow.
And that was
there you go, man.
Him while he was cutting my hair.
Yep. Yep. I tell everybody I run into, please, give consideration to what we can do in the market. As a business owner, we have to figure this piece out, and you and I can talk about it, but we have to figure out, how do I get my staff to benefit from this without me losing my staff? And then all of a sudden, boom, I'm back there cooking the mac and cheese and the collard greens, because it becomes, you want to share it with everybody that you're close to, but at the same time, you got to be careful, because if you share with them, then, if you're relying on them for that, whatever engagement, that hourly engagement, it becomes tough. That's a tough piece that many of us find in the CEO world, the entrepreneurial world. We can't share with our staff. We share with our staff, we lose our staff.
Yeah. Or you can just tokenize them, to be honest.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is, okay, cool. You give them the option. Say, okay, you make X amount a year. You make X amount, weekly, depending on how you actually pay. They get paid. I can give you X amount in crypto, and you can get X amount in cash. At that point right there, they're investing in the cryptocurrency space, and they're going to do it unconsciously if they sign up for that program.
Yeah.
That way you keep your clients there, you keep your staff there, and they're investing into the markets at the same time.
Okay.
I'm big on not holding anybody back, but I'm also big on not trying to convince you of anything.
Yeah.
My resources and my results have proven enough. You can go back over 3,000 plus videos I've posted, thousands of reviews, that you can see exactly what I've done and who I've done it for over the years. So I'm big on, I will tell you about something, but I'm not going to convince you of nothing.
Right.
Because
right.
your bank account, those zeros or those lack of zeros in your bank account should be convincing enough.
Yep. How many days out of the week do you trade?
I trade every single day. There's never a point in time where I don't have a trade
in. Okay. And let's hear about the ball getting hit out the park. What's your best day, or what was your best transaction out on the crypto or wherever you were in your trading life? What was the best day?
Profit percent wise or dollar wise?
We'll go with profit percent only. Well, no, we better go with dollars, because they're not going to understand profit percent.
Okay, cool. So dollar wise, my biggest day trade, dollar wise, was 78K.
78K starting where?
78K. I put in $1,200 from that.
$1,200, and you got 78K in one day.
In one day. Well,
family. 6 hours. Family. Y'all need to make sure that you all are here for our brother's lecture. What day are we coming into town to do that again?
Oh, we're coming in the second weekend of September. I'll be there that Friday night and that Saturday morning.
There we go. So it's going to be a 2-day, starting the second Saturday in September, Friday night. Then we're going to Saturday. It's going to be a 2-day event. This is going to be off the chain. It's going to change your life. Everybody will have already spent their money on their child's tuition, and you scraping and trying to figure out how you're going to make ends meet. Come on in and let's learn how we're going to make ends meet and how we're going to change our lives. We're going to change our children's life. We're going to create generational wealth And our brother Cliff is going to show us how we can achieve that. Because, yeah, this is a curse for us to go all this time and we still nickel and dime. We still at the bottom. This is a curse that we need to break. We need to break this cycle, brother Cliff. Again, I appreciate you and the work that you've done. I look forward to you, working with me. I've already told my customers, I've told you that once I get, to the point where I can put these major financial, bills behind me, I can't wait to give my food away for free. And I make that a commitment. As soon as I'm there, you'll know I'm there. I ain't even gonna have to say anything because you're gonna come to the restaurant and the register's not even gonna be on the counter.
Absolutely. That's what's up, man. It's
Yeah.
one thing I live by. And this is one of the thoughts that I have on a consistent basis daily. One of the thoughts that I wake up in the morning thinking about and I go to sleep thinking about at night. By the year 2053, Black wealth will be non-existent. I'm gonna say that again. By the year 2053, they've already estimated that Black wealth will be non-existent, meaning we will be below the totem. We are at the bottom of the totem pole. We're going to be below the totem pole by 2053.
That's 28 years, brother. 28 years from today. Yep. All right, brother. Well, the information that you have, I see that, people say your health is your wealth. I tell people, no, your health is everything, because when you lose it, nothing else matters. But if you don't have the amount of wealth that you need in order to take care of your health, then you find yourself coming up short. And so, yeah, it all goes hand in hand.
Absolutely.
It's going to be the second week in September. You and I are going to be back on a couple of times before then, talking more about what you're doing. And maybe you'll give us some ways that we can access your information, your public information for our audience. And if you have that, please share if that's something you want to do tonight.
Absolutely. You can find me on Facebook as Clifton O'Neal. Make sure you look for that blue check mark. You can find me on TikTok at CryptoCliff LLC. You can also find me on IG at Mr. I_am_money.
That's what's up, family. Y'all got it. Y'all, the crumbs are being dropped. We're going to change your life. I guarantee it. All you have to do is follow instructions and be disciplined and love yourself and your future enough to make the right decisions. Yes. Family, again, this is Dr. Baruch. I've enjoyed this interview, and I look forward to the fruit that are going to come over this tree. I enjoyed this interview, and I look forward to the people's lives that I'm going to change. Brother Cliff, I appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you, but also look forward to the subsequent conversations that we're going to have when we talk to this audience of people that I can't wait to share this with, that we're going to make some difference in some people's lives. Again, the second week of September, mark it on your calendar. Friday and Saturday, we're going to be right here at E-Life Restaurant. We're going to be teaching you how to change your life, how to eliminate, put an end to these generational curses, this financial bottom of the barrel, this under the totem pole financial curse that is going to befall us unless we do the right thing. Brother Cliff, I appreciate you. I appreciate the work that you're doing, and I look forward to seeing you here at E-Life. Thank you, brother.
No problem. Thank you. Peace.
Peace.